Hello everyone, Bubbling Moon back again with another Sky Dancers video. Before we start talking about episode 1, real quick, I just want to mention the vote that we had on the last video. There was an overwhelming support for Jim and the holograms to be the next magical garbage episode, so yeah, I'm totally into it. I can't wait. The other two choices are going to go back on the list until the next time they come up in a vote. Alright, now back to talking about Sky Dancers! Today, we're talking about episode 1, Sky's the Limit. This is one of the 2 episodes that I saw when I was younger, and I just absolutely love this show. I've got so much nostalgia for this in episode 2. Episode 1 starts with a dance recital.
It's a full house out there, standing room only.
This dance recital is kind of a roll call for our main characters to introduce us to who they are and what kind of dance they do, even though the opening theme song kind of already did that.
Jade! Come here! Freeze!
Slam!
And this is a really weird dance recital. Each of them are being introduced, doing like 2 seconds of dancing, and then the next one comes out, and then they all do a group number together that looks more like a cheer routine than anything you'd see from like a professional dance academy. And of course Slam messes up because he's the worst.
I missed my move.
You messed up, Slam.
Rub it in, why don't you?
We also don't see any other students at this recital, and for the first couple episodes, it really does feel like these 5 are going to school by themselves up on this mountain. We do see other students later in the season, but I think they just didn't want to waste the effort on background characters for the pilot episode. But after the shortest recital in history, they notice that Dame Skyla is missing. This is unusual, so they go and look for her. And I'd like to bring up, probably not for the last time, how old are these kids anyway? They kind of act like teenagers, but sometimes they act like they're in their 20s and this is some kind of college course that they're taking, and other times they just straight up look 30 years old. Slam's cheek sacks are definitely not helping the situation. I don't know what these little lines are really supposed to be. I think they're to indicate cheekbones, but this does not look like a cheekbone. This looks like a mistake.
Bummer.
So they all go looking for Dame Skyla, and...
Where are we?
I've never been to this part of the school before.
Wait, what do you mean you've never been to this part of the school before? You go to school on a mountainside. If I went to school in such a cool location, like a mountaintop plateau, I would have checked out every square inch of it. At least that's how I feel about it now. Back in high school, somebody asked me while I was a senior how to get to the nurse's station, and it blew my mind that I had never been to the nurse's office in my entire high school existence, and I did not know how to help them. And here we can see the first of some pretty funny animation mistakes where Camille's mouth is sliding off of her face as the frame shifts up. And what's that you hear in the distance?
It's coming from up there.
That cacophonous music box-like sound. God, I sure hope that doesn't get louder and louder to an annoying degree. They happen upon a building that's being guarded by Whirl and Twirl. They are Dame Skyla's magic pets, and I just love the fact that they're absolutely regular dogs, just with kind of radical haircuts. It's hilarious to me. I can't explain why. They find Dame Skyla hiding amongst the music boxes, and I want you to experience this scene. I edited the visuals, but I have left the audio completely untouched. This is what it's supposed to sound like.
Dame Skyla, you're all right.
No, Camille, I am not all right, and neither am I Dame Skyla. I am Queen Skyla. The music boxes warn me that Skyclone, the Sky Realm's deadliest foe, has returned and is getting ready to attack the Wingdom.
The Wingdom?
The Sky City where I rule.
Normally, I would not dare to call out somebody's audio mixing as bad because, this is me. My videos up until recently were barely listenable. But even I know you're not supposed to layer music over the voices to where it's louder than the dialogue that's being exchanged. And this is an important scene too. This scene is basically what sets up the entire rest of the series. Skyla explains to them that she is the queen of the Wingdom, a quote-unquote sky kingdom. We will get into that in the very next episode. But the story that she tells them is all about how her husband, King Skylar, perished trying to save the Sky Kingdom from his evil brother Skyclone. Skyclone wants to be the king, and he also wants control of the Sky Swirl Stone, a magic stone that has vaguely defined powers, and also a very inconsistent shape depending on, who's holding it and what it's being held with. Look at this stone while it's in Queen Skyla's glove, and now look at it in the scepter. These aren't even relatively similar cuts for this magic rock to have. But instead of using this all-powerful blue MacGuffin stone to kill his brother, King Skylar just decides he's sick of living anyway, so he decides to kill them both. King Skylar grabs a hold of Skyclone and he proceeds to do a death spiral. And he fails at it spectacularly because, spoilers, not only did it not kill Skyclone, it is heavily implied in later episodes and then just flat out stated even later in the season that, yeah, he is 100% still alive. King Skylar's still alive and he's just been trapped in another dimension for so many years. So why is the death spiral even named that? It didn't even kill either of the people that it involved. After the flashback's over and Queen Skyla has already admitted to being a terrible ruler because she basically just left her kingdom all alone to start a dance school in the human world, she tells these 5 dancers that they are the best hope that her kingdom has at defeating Skyclone now that he's returned. Because it's not like she possesses an all-powerful crystal that has vaguely defined powers that could pretty much do anything the series needed it to. No, these 5 possible teenagers need to do her bidding for her. They're all pretty into this idea, except for Jade, who, just has a teeny bit of resistance because her dad is a scientist.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, Dame Skyla, but this is pretty tough to believe.
Fair enough, I guess. Once they're transformed, though, I'm sure that she'll put all of her skepticism aside. Oh look, another animation mistake. Tiny Camille. And whoa, look how positively normal Slam looks when they don't put those weird lines on his cheek. So Queen Skyla passes out these little golden feathers that they refer to as their right of flight, but that term gets thrown around in a couple different ways, and it's not strictly clear what they mean by it sometimes. And the way they activate their right of flight is basically to just say the slogan of the show.
If it is to be, it's up to me.
If it's to be, it's up to me. And I actually like how positive the slogan is. It's all over the song, it's all over the in-between bumpers for commercials.
If it is to be, just wait and see.
And then we see them transform. I actually really like how tiny they are when they transform. They're like the size of the actual Skydancer dolls. But I'm not wild about most of the actual transformation outfits. I like Jade and Camille's the best. They look pretty cute. Angelica looks like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, which is pretty on brand for her, but I just kind of wish that she looked different. Slam looks terrible, like always. And I would really like it if somebody more knowledgeable than me could weigh in and tell me if Breeze's outfit is kind of a racist stereotype. Like, I don't think he should be ashamed of being a native person. They never get more specific than that. But it's basically his entire identity to the show. Nobody else has a costume design that's like based off of their heritage or culture. I don't know, it just seems like he's never allowed to be anyone other than the Native American guy. On another note, I really like Queen Skyla's design. She gets 2 colors in her hair, the outfit looks pretty and kind of elegant. I don't know, it's just always kind of resonated with me. But the characters all make their way to the Wingdom, including the dogs, which use their ears to fly. That's cute. And they find Queen Skyla's throne room being ransacked by 3 imps, and I swear the people who made these character designs had to have watched The Nightmare Before Christmas before coming up with them. Like, somebody out there, tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me you see it too, please. Our main characters kick them out and then start discovering their powers. They each have like a special dance move that lets them use their powers, but that's kind of inconsistent in other episodes too. A real hallmark of the show is the inconsistency. Slam's special power is he can do a really lame version of Link's Ultra Hand ability from Tears of the Kingdom, and he activates it by doing a front flip. When Camille does a cartwheel, she can make things out of clouds. I'm not super sure on the specifics of her power. It seems more inconsistent than the rest of them, but it is a pretty cool power. She's basically a Green Lantern. She just makes whatever she wants out of clouds. It's usually a cage, though. Angelica doesn't even do a special dance move to activate her power. And she says that she can stop time.
I can stop time and anything in it.
But it's more accurate to say that she can freeze an enemy in place for a couple seconds. As far as Breeze's powers go, he says power over wind, rain, and nature is his. That's, again, very broad descriptors for Breeze. Like, you could have just said weather, I'd accept weather, and that would still make him way overpowered in a Sky Kingdom. Last but not least, we have Jade, who is having some trouble with her powers because she doesn't believe in magic.
It's not easy to believe in magic when your father's a scientist, but I'll try.
Which is a weird thing to say after you've already been transformed into a tiny flying ballerina. Like, she says it's hard to believe in magic when your father's a scientist. I think any scientific mind in the same situation that she was in would say, well, I guess magic is real, because that is literally the only explanation for what is going on right now. It makes so little sense. I just want to scream. But Skyclone is coming with his army of...
Come, my hurricanes, rise and do my bidding.
horror canes. I'm telling you, if you don't like portmanteaus, this is not the series for you. It happens in every episode. They just mash some words together, and it plays to my sense of humor, but I realize I'm probably an outlier in this. Skyclone's motivation for attacking the Wingdom is exactly the same as his motivation in the past for attacking the Wingdom, but now with the tacked-on caveat, his brother's death spiral
A death spin will mean destruction for both of us!
took away his right of flight. But, no it didn't, as evidenced by him flying through the entire episode. It took away his wings, but he's still somehow able to fly. And also he's green now. And that is just never explained. Anyways, a pretty weird fight scene ensues where it's unclear what's going on most of the time, and while Slam is getting violated by the imps, Jade realizes
You've got wings. The only scientific explanation for it is magic does exist. And if it does, then I believe in magic.
if she spins around, she can turn invisible. Alright then, cool. So one cockamamie plan later, and the day is saved. We end the episode with our main characters flying off into the blue horizon, and that's basically it. Overall, a pretty good first episode. A lot of times, first episodes for shows like this can waste a lot of time on non-magic stuff that people really don't care about. Like, if you're 6 years old, you don't really care about any time they spend in the human world. You want to see the sky dancers flying. And they really do a good job of just cutting straight to the chase. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, write to your government about how great my YouTube channel is. There are a few more funny episodes of Sky Dancers I want to go over, plus a couple things about the series just in general I'm planning on making a video on. So look forward to that. Look forward to the next Magical Garbage episode, which will be Gem and the Holograms. If there's a Magical Girl show or piece of media that you'd like me to take a look at, leave it down in the comments and I'll add it to the list. I hope you're all having a great day and enjoying some good mental health. That pretty much does it for me. Peace out.